Hi, Sweet Pea.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
We have another chit-chat.
We do. This is episode 63 with the fabulous and wonderful Claire Lowrie.
That's it. And don't forget Yoli.
Oh my gosh. Of course, Yoli was in the background of this. We got to set the scene. Gorgeous Yoli is her dog.
Gorgeous Yoli. And yes, it was a beautiful scene because, of course, we do all these chit-chats remotely, but we do get to see our guests on the screen. And behind Claire was this beautiful green jungle haven, which of course is the name of her YouTube channel, The Jungle Haven. The most fantastic looking plants, all in superb condition. And then
gorgeous.
Lying there on her bed, beautifully behaved, was Yoli.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I had in my room Hobbs, who wasn't quite so behaved. I mean, she means well, Hobbs. It's not like she's being a menace. She just tends to sleep talk a lot. So you will actually hear her get involved a bit later on in the chit chat. At the point when I'm asking Claire how she seals her cabinets, there's a very loud Hobbs grumble in the background. It sounds like it's an extended tummy rumble, but I can assure you that is Hobbs.
It's usually Hobbs, to be honest. If you hear anything, it's Hobbs in the background.
Yeah,
so
and she was just very content and had lots to say. But Yoli was as good as gold, not a peep from her.
It was really, really sweet, gorgeous, and also a rescue, just like Hobbs as well. So two little kindred spirits together.
They are so similar, actually.
Yeah.
Hobbs is the sort of redhead version of Yoli, I would say.
Yeah, exactly, and less mature, I would say as well.
Less emotionally mature.
Yes, emotionally mature. But back to this chit-chat. This chit-chat is all about houseplants for your house, houseplants for your apartment, the best houseplants to have everywhere.
All things houseplants.
And also biscuit tea bags.
Crikey, Sweet Pea.
So I would say it's a fairly diverse chat.
About houseplants.
Yeah.
Claire was on Garden as well back in 2024, right at the beginning on episode 3. And she was at the time in a 1-bed flat, and she had the most magnificent houseplants, of course. She has since then moved into a 3-bed house, and we talk a bit about that transition and what that means for all her plants, all her babies, her green babies.
Quite amazing, actually.
And this recording took place in January, I think, of this year. And
yes, it did.
So Sweet Pea is asking about how to occupy her glass teapot that she received for Christmas. Yeah. And so we were talking terrariums, but Sweet Pea has since done some other things with that teapot, a terrarium, but has used different plants. So you'll hear sort of a bit out of the timelines are a bit blurred there.
Exactly,
Also, Claire talks about a video which she put together. It's on her YouTube channel, and it was from when she, Ben Newell and Grow Tropical did their show garden at RHS Morven. Yeah. And we asked if there was somewhere we could see it on TV, and she's got a beautiful YouTube video of it. So she sent that over to me. So you will find that on our website. If you go to the Gardens page, and you'll find Claire on the Chit-Chats page on the Rogues Gallery there.
Exactly.
Another thing that we have also put a link to is she talks about the online shop that she bought her Welwitschia seeds from, and that's actually called Rare Palm Seeds, so we've got a link to that one.
Fantastic.
And then one final thing we should mention is you'll notice Sweet Pea references us having spoken about Poya chilensis previously. And what happened was we had been talking about Hoyas, and I thought it was Poyas, so we had a bit of a mix up there, but during our excitement there was a lot of shouting and from plosives, a lot of shouting and guffaws. That was from mostly me and Sweet Pea, nothing to do with Claire. She's brilliant. She's really a consummate professional. But it was so awful that had to come out, but then it sort of disjointed because later on we do reference it, or Sweet Pea references it. Yeah. And of course, Poya chilensis is the edible plant that Martin from Big Cactus Rescue chose as one of his edible plants.
Exactly. It's quite an amazing plant. Do have a look at it.
So, Sweet Pea, tell us the format.
So, for Claire's Dream Garden, we have the garden boundary, shadow greenhouse, 5 ornamentals, 5 edibles, 1 statement tree, pond or pool plum plant, and finally favourite seating area drink, and 1 plant for the area.
That's it. And if you have any questions about this episode, any comments, or if you want to get in touch, then you can do through our website, which is notjustagarden.co.uk, or you can email us at notjustagarden@outlook.com.
Exactly.
And before we jump into this episode, we do have, apart from the Hobbs grumble, we also have the unfortunate situation where drilling is going on in Sweet Pea's apartment block through a number of these chit-chats and our bonus episodes. So you will hear some drilling in the background for poor Sweet Pea. She's got to revise through that.
I do every single day, knocking on the weekends.
Day in, day out.
Day out. And they work long days, these builders, so come on.
Yeah, they don't mess about.
Nope.
Well, let's have a look at this episode, Sweet Pea.
Absolutely.
This is episode 63, A Good Ol Chit-Chat with Claire Lowrie.
Off we go.
Welcome, Claire, to Good Ol Chit-Chat.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. You're our first houseplant guru.
Yes.
Ooh, I feel honoured.
Which we're very excited about because for completely selfish reasons, this is very close to our hearts because Sweet Pea's just moved into an apartment.
Yeah.
So is gardenless and
which was painful.
Which was painful. So she's all about houseplants. So this is a great chat to be having.
Exactly.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, congratulations on your move.
Thank you. Yes, it was back in September, and like the first thing I did was write plants. We need plants. It's too beige in here, so I got plants. Those ones there.
Oh, lovely.
And then I've got some other little bits and bobs around the place.
Your windowsills. And your nearest shop happens to be a garden centre, doesn't it? Which was just
that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's so dangerous. I can actually see it from the window right now. I can see the roof of the garden centre. It's crazy how close it is.
A lot of the monthly food budget is going on plants right now.
Yeah. That's what when I first lived by myself as well. It's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Well, so we saw you on Gardener's World back in 2024. I think it was episode 3. And then
I think it was, yes.
You were in a 1-bed flat.
Yeah.
I was. So quite a lot, as you might be able to tell because you can see behind me, quite a lot's changed since then.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I was in a 1-bedroom flat with, I think, a maximum capacity about 350 houseplants, my fairly large dog as well. So it was pretty cramped. Yoli. But yeah, about this time last year, actually, I moved to my first house, which, I'm spoilt for space now. I've got lots of space for plants and it's just been wonderful.
Fabulous.
Gosh, how incredible. So, moving from a 1-bed flat to what sort of size is your house?
It's a 3-bedroom house.
3-bed house.
Yeah, nice. It's been such a treat.
So you took 350 houseplants with you. How many more have you invested in since?
So, you know what? Funnily enough, since I've moved in here, I've actually had a little bit of a downsize. I think mainly because I've got more space to allow them to kind of flourish and get bigger. And I don't know, I don't need to kind of have that fix of growing quite so many things in order to make me feel like a planty person. That may well change. But right now I think I don't know exactly what I'm at, but I would say probably under 300, maybe more like 200.
Right. Oh, it's still quite a downsize, but yes, it's still loads, isn't it?
I mean, also, obviously, they take up so much time and energy, and when life gets busy, I love doing kind of plant swaps and trades and stuff like that. So
we saw a bit of that on the programme on your segment. You had your friend Emma, I think it was, who came round, and you were doing a little plant swap. It looked so fun, sort of sharing your different plants and jabbering away. It's kind of like a book club, but with plants, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? We still do that all the time. Me, Emma, lots of my planty friends, whenever we get together, we always joke that one of us will always bring a plant or a cutting and no one leaves empty-handed.
I'd be disappointed if it was any different.
Even if it's just a twig that you then put in water and gives you roots. Very happy with that.
Yeah.
So how did it all start?
Kind of by accident, to be honest. So my grandparents, my nana and granddad, they were avid gardeners. My mum has been really into gardening for many, many years. And although I liked spending time in nature, that was always something I really, really loved. I never really knew about houseplants, to be honest.
No.
And when I first was living away from home, I got a plant and I put it in my room and I was like, oh, I really like the look of this. And then I started getting really interested in just adding greenery, so I got loads of fake plants and I was like, oh cool, this looks amazing. But then I was like, okay, that's not really, I don't know, I just was more interested in the real thing, something that I actually kind of had to do a little bit too. But I had no idea about specific care needs for plants. I remember my mum had a ficus, and at one point I moved back home and I took this ficus down to my bedroom and I watered it every single day, and I was like, it'll be amazing. And obviously I drowned it very quickly.
Yeah.
But I couldn't comprehend that at the time. I was like, I don't understand. It's getting water, it's getting light.
Yeah. I know.
So yeah, that kind of was the first step into finding out that plants have different care needs, and actually there's a lot that we do wrong and there's a lot that's overlooked.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of gone on its own weird little journey since I started, because I had, I think, around about 100 plants ish just before lockdown, and then when lockdown hit I was furloughed. And I kind of thought, okay, what could I do to try and keep doing this but on a bigger level? And so I set up a little shop, and I was sending out cuttings of my own plants, and then I started kind of getting plants in and sending them out and just doing everything from my home.
That's brilliant.
And then in the middle of all of that, things got weird. It was lockdown and I ended up moving back in with my mum for a while with all of my plants.
Oh my gosh, your poor mum.
And it was around about that time that I started finding the kind of online plant community as well, because obviously we were so disconnected. I started doing YouTube stuff, and just connected with so many passionate plant people, and I was like, oh my god, this is such a cool community. And so my shop kind of fizzled out, and I just stuck with that side of it and just was like, this is awesome. I can be a hobbyist, but also I can help other people to learn and they can help me to learn, and it just felt like such a collaborative, lovely thing. That's really kind of where it's gone from since.
So you have a YouTube channel called The Jungle Haven?
Yes, that's right.
Is that right? And you have a huge amount of followers. What are you at? Sort of 190,000 followers?
Something like that, yeah.
Are most of your followers amateur houseplant collectors and lovers, or what sort of level are you at in terms of your followers on that channel?
I think it's really varied, to be honest. I get some people that are complete beginners, maybe have just bought their first plant or have just been given their first plants, and I kind of try and tailor my content towards those people, perhaps a little bit more kind of practical, educational. Let's learn about this plant together. I share a lot of things that go right and wrong with my own plants. But also I have found that one of the ways that I really like to work and do things with plants is just kind of getting more involved in the relaxed kind of chatty side of things, where it almost feels like you're just sitting down with a friend and learning together and discovering together and talking about all the things that go wrong, because they go wrong for everyone.
Very true.
And so I think by that kind of standard I've got a lovely audience of people, some of which have been doing this for 40, 50 years, have huge experience. I've got people that are into like insane hybridization and pollination amongst like crazy species and things that I am like, God, that's such unfamiliar territory to me. I learn a lot from them, and I hope that they also can learn some stuff from me as well. So it's wonderful.
It's a lovely community, isn't it? I do really like your easy, relaxed style of your videos. It is just sitting down and listening to a friend. And it's not really particular, so you don't feel, oh no, I'm doing all this wrong. And I think some videos can be quite overwhelming, whereas yours are just, very sort of personable. It's a lovely style.
Exactly.
Do I remember this right on this show? Because it was quite a while ago now. Did you talk about having an acting background, or did we find out about you having an acting background?
I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but that's life has taken weird twists and turns. But when I left school, I went and trained to be an actor. It was always the dream.
Do you have any involvement in that now at all?
Not really. I took a step, actually, kind of when I got started on YouTube, I kind of went, maybe I will really focus on this for a while. It's another creative avenue that I'm really enjoying. I feel like it's much more within my control, because I don't know if you know much about the acting industry, but it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And I've got lots of friends that are still in it and are doing fantastically well. But I was like, I think for the time being, let's pursue other things. I can always come back to it. And I just haven't. So
you haven't gone back to it, and you're your own boss, I guess. With what you're doing, and
it's not to say I don't miss it, because I do.
Do you?
I really miss it, but it feels like for now things are on the right path.
with the YouTube channel, do you feel, because obviously if you're in the acting world, you'd be going off to auditions, you're involved with teams of people, whereas what you're doing is quite insular in a way, although you have all this contact, sort of remote contact, I guess, with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it is obviously a very, very solo job in a lot of ways. And I think the older I've got, the more I've realised that actually I love my own space. I love my own company. I know that's one of the things that,
we're exactly the same.
When you're growing up, you don't want to be that person. You want to be the uber social one that's always out and doing all the things. And actually, the older I've got, I'm like, actually, you know what? Sitting indoors and playing with my plants in my pajamas and being able to talk to people online and actually take time in what I want to say and think, and it feels almost like weirdly therapeutic to me.
Perfect for you then. It's worked really well. I just saw Yoli do a little stretch behind you.
So
oh my gosh, she's so sweet.
She's an angel, isn't she? Good girl.
So what was the catalyst for moving from a one-bed flat to your house?
So I'd been in my flat for about a year, and I met my now partner, and we decided to move him in as well with all of his stuff.
Right. Did he come with any plants?
He didn't come with any plants, but he did come with his own flat's worth of stuff. And also we were both working from home, so things got very crowded very quickly.
Yes.
I think it was about a year we lived at the flat together before. I think it was just over a year, actually, maybe a year and a half before we started thinking, okay, we do need to think about other options.
More space.
Yeah, and we were very lucky with the house. We just sat down one day and we weren't really in the position to start thinking about houses or anything. We were like, well, let's just look at what maybe we could do at some point in a year or so. And we saw this house and we were like, oh my goodness, it's perfect. It's got this big glass area at the back for the plants. It's got all the kind of tick boxy things. And we were like, well, let's just go and look at it. And anyway, we managed to make it work. So it's been
fantastic.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
It's brilliant.
So how did your segment on Gardener's World come about?
So, it didn't air for a year. So we actually filmed it a year before it aired. So it feels like such a long time ago. I think it was probably 3 years ago now. They came across me on YouTube and got in touch and just said, we'd love you to come on the show. And obviously I was over the moon. It was such a cool thing to be involved in, and I absolutely loved it.
So that was in 2023 they would have filmed then?
Yes, that's right.
So you weren't in any lockdowns or anything like that?
No, I think we were. So I'd only actually been in my flat, I think, maybe a few months. It really wasn't that long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It looked so well established.
I know, it did.
Oh, I think that was kind of when I moved in. I was like, oh my God. I was like, Gardener's World are coming around.
Right.
Great.
Used to look pristine.
Panic. So did you have a whole camera crew in your small flat?
I think there were 4 of them in total.
Okay.
They were lovely. They were such a lovely team. They immediately put me at ease, and it was such a relaxed shoot. So, it was so much fun. And it was only a day. It was only a day's film we did as well. So.
They're such a great team, aren't they?
Yes, they really are.
They're a well-oiled machine, I think.
Yeah.
But I loved some of the techniques that you used. I remember you had shower shelves.
Yes.
Clear sort of plastic shower shelves that you suckered onto windows.
Yeah, that's right.
For your plants.
Oh, yes, that was it.
Which I was suggesting to you, Sweet Pea. I thought it would be a good way for you to get more plants into your apartment.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it would block the only bit of light I have, though. The windows.
If you can just get little individual ones as well. I've used them before in cabinets and stuff, and you can kind of just pop them in little areas here and there to add a bit of greenery.
And you also had, talking of cabinets, didn't you have a propagation cabinet in your bedroom?
Yes, I had. So I had a propagation cabinet which actually is currently unused. I keep threatening to do things with it, and I haven't done anything with it yet. That was my propagation cabinet, you're right, in my bedroom, and I had another cabinet which is still in use that's just behind me.
Okay. What do you use for your propagation cabinet now?
So Propagation wise, so I've the lovely space that I've got in the new house has I've set up lots of shelves with grow lights on and stuff like that, and I'm so lucky that the underfloor is heated. So essentially it's like a big grow mat.
You've got a great place there.
Yeah,
it's honestly it's amazing. So I've really been able to kind of optimize that, and for that reason I just haven't set up my other cabinet yet, and I'm actually at the point of going, do I need it?
Right. Wow, it's the perfect house. So we should explain, because of course this isn't a visual podcast.
Yeah.
Claire's you're pointing to what looks almost like a conservatory, an open conservatory area. How would you describe that room?
So the house is open plan, and you kind of go up these little steps into the dining area, and then behind it there's it's just a little extension. It probably looks bigger than it is on camera, but it's got a couple of skylights, and it's just a space that is purely used for my plants. I've got shelves going all up the walls, and
it's got windows all the way around, has it? Or
it's got windows, so we're in a terraced house, so that side we've got a window, but otherwise it's just at the ends.
It's a beautiful light space.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really lovely.
With all your plants in there, it looks so inviting. It really does. So that's all underfloor heated?
It is, yeah, which also is obviously great for houseplants because humidity is quite a difficult thing to balance sometimes, and if you've got loads of radiators blasting, that can make the air quite dry.
Right.
So again, actually, by having underfloor heating, sometimes I'll just leave a bowl of water on the floor, and as that evaporates, it will just kind of naturally provide humidity in that space.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's a bit like greenhouses. You do the same splash water on the floor. It just kind of humidifies in the summer.
And in fact, in your flat, I don't know if you've got radiators, but you can do the same. You can just leave cups of water on top of your radiators, and again, when they run, it just acts as a little natural humidifier.
Right.
That's a good idea because it's very dry in here.
Yeah.
You have a very, very dry apartment, don't you?
Yeah, it's airtight.
Right. So cups on the radiators.
Yeah, just like a mug of water or something.
Yeah. And that'll do it. Because my houseplants, because it's been so wet and miserable outside, I thought, well, I'll turn my attention to the houseplants. And I have varying degrees of success. I have some plants that I've had for decades, and I've actually done very little to them. They're big kind of parlor palm type plants, and they're floor standing, and they just seem to thrive with the neglect that I provide them with. And then I have just continued failures with cheese plants, and that's difficult. Something I'm trying to work on now this year. I actually had a cheese plant that was looking sorry for itself inside. I put it outside in quite a sheltered part of the garden. It was under a big bay tree. It was very shady, and that's kind of the morgue for all our dead plants.
Fortunately, we have one of those.
But we have a few that then start to come back to life. So we've had some yuccas, and this cheese plant started to look great. And then I thought I must bring it back in, and then the frost got it. Now it's just black. And
what a shame!
And it's gutting. Meanwhile, the new one that's inside is looking terrible. That's going to end up in the morgue. And then, so the cycle continues.
Some people do just like that. I think it depends on your environment, and I think just different plants work better than others for different people. I mean, I'll happily give you some tips on it, but also,
great. That.
I've got a friend that finds spider plants really difficult, and they're supposedly one of the really easy plants, and she is a well-seasoned planty person.
Interesting. That gives some hope, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think some people get on better with other things. Other people would take something like a calathea that's meant to be super temperamental, and they'll be like, no, it's my easiest plant.
Right.
So
it's funny how it goes. So what am I doing wrong with my cheese plants?
So I would firstly ask what kind of light you're growing it in, and does it have good drainage?
Right. So light-wise, I kept it in not too sunny a place because of learning from the cheese plant outside that was in the shady area. And I was also imagining it in jungles. I imagined it would have quite a canopy over it. So I thought it probably likes shade more. In terms of drainage, I'm not great at taking my plants out of their pots to a sink area, giving them water.
I feel like maybe that's it, because they can be very susceptible to root rot, and overwatering is so easy to do. I would potentially suggest, if you don't like taking your plants to the sink, because I know it could be super faffy, you don't have to grow in soil. You can try different substrates such as like semi-hydroponic growing. There's some really nice semi-hydro mixes that I have got quite a lot of my plants in, actually, that essentially allow you to grow in what looks like loads of porous rocks. Yes. And then you constantly leave a little reservoir of water at the bottom of the pot. So your plant essentially wicks up what it does and doesn't want, and it just reduces the risk of things like root rot massively.
Right.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah. And we have some of those sort of balls you've got in the greenhouse, haven't you, Sweet Pea? Yep. Sort of, they look like little pumice stones almost.
That's right, leca.
Leca, yes. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so would you do 100% of that in a pot for a cheese plant, for example?
Yeah, totally. I typically don't mix non-organic and organic substrate because, again, if you get organic matter into the semi-hydro, then it can just make the plant more susceptible to rotting. But I would do pure semi-hydro. I've got probably 40-50% of my collection in semi-hydro at this point.
Wow. So how are you getting nutrients to the plant? Do you then need to feed it?
I do, yeah. So not all fertilizer is suitable to use alongside it, but if you look for a hydroponic fertilizer, I use a fertilizer that's compatible with both soil growing and semi-hydro growing. So I'll just add in a little bit every now and again when they're in an active state of growth. And yeah, it works really well.
Oh, well, so this has just opened my eyes to a whole new world of houseplants. It hadn't ever crossed my mind to use different growing medium.
It does make life so much easier. It really does.
But what other houseplants would you use that medium for?
So my favourite has been Alocasia, which is a beautiful genus of plants. It's a tropical plant that typically grows quite close to water, and it comes in such beautiful varieties. But I always found really, really difficult to grow. And you almost always buy a plant and it'll come in some kind of soil or coir mix or something like that. And I really struggled with Alocasia for years because I knew they liked quite a moist substrate. But whenever I'd regularly water them, I'd find that they'd go mushy and the rhizome would start rotting and then they were just kind of doomed. And then someone said to me at one point, why don't you try semi-hydro? And I played about with that a bit. And now Alocasia as a genus is one of my easiest because I know that I can just keep a reservoir filled and just kind of walk away and not do anything to them for weeks. So
right up my street.
Yes. It's changing the game for me.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Gosh, this is quite exciting, isn't it, Sweet Pea? Because
very interesting.
We have our various struggles and this sounds like we could find foolproof ways of dealing with it.
I was wondering, do you have any jewel orchids?
I do. Collection? I've got a couple in terrariums at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got
So you do terrariums as well?
I do a little. They're definitely not my speciality, but I have got quite a few terrariums.
Oh, cool, because I was going to start that as well.
Oh, yeah, jewel orchids do amazingly in terrariums.
Oh.
Weren't you thinking about putting your jewel orchid in the terrarium?
I'm not sure. I've got it here just next to me. It's not too bad a size. It was quite a bit smaller.
That looks like a Macodes patola.
Yes, it's a Macodes patola. Exactly that one.
Beautiful.
And I've got it in this little pot, and it's got a kind of coir compost because they are happy to be in a kind of soil substrate.
Yes,
understood. They're not kind of such kind of like other orchids with their fibrous roots. They're not so like that. Oops. And it's doing very well until I dropped it. And I was thinking possibly I was going to do a terrarium and then possibly put it in the terrarium, but I think it's looking all right as it is.
I mean, it's a beautiful plant. It looks like it's doing really, really well. If you ever wanted to propagate it and try a little section in a terrarium, you could. It props quite easily.
How would you propagate that?
I just take a normal kind of stem cutting, perhaps remove one of the lower leaves just to avoid rotting.
Okay.
You can also do a little bit of air layering on it as well if you've got a bare stretch of stem, just to ensure that you get roots.
What is that?
So if you get a little bit, I mean, I like to use sustainably sourced sphagnum moss, but you can use like wet kitchen roll or something like that if you don't have that. And you just wrap it around the stem of the plant and then put something like cling film or something over it to just seal the moisture in. And you leave that for a few weeks and the plant will essentially think that it's been put into soil, and so it will start to root from that point. And it just means that then you can go ahead and take your cutting and not worry about, oh, is it going to rot or is it not going to root, because it's already got roots. So it kind of just ensures success in your propagation. So you don't go ahead and chop something before knowing it's going to be successful.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting, because there is one branch coming off it which seems to kind of be creeping across, which I didn't think know it did that.
Even the point where it's creeping, if you were to put something moist just underneath the stem there, that would probably start to root into it there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to try that out because I've got a teapot. Actually, it's on the shelf just behind me.
Yeah.
Which I thought, it's a glass teapot, fabulous for a terrarium.
Oh, that would look gorgeous. That would look really gorgeous. That's a great idea.
That'd be cool, so I thought I'd do that. So when did you start doing terrariums?
So I wouldn't say, I'm definitely not a terrarium person per se. I've made various terrariums over the years. I just think they're great because they're so low maintenance and you can make something that looks really pretty and then just kind of walk away and leave it. I make them for presents for people quite often, to be honest. If I've got a friend's birthday lovely. And I think, oh God, I haven't got them anything.
I'd love to get a terrarium from somebody.
Yeah. I'll make you one.
Yeah, great. Did I hint too strongly there?
A bit too strongly.
But I always just keep nice jars, nice bottles, anything like that. Anything that looks pretty. And I've got a whole store of them in the hallway and I'll always just, throw little things together and it looks lovely.
What a lovely idea. You could start making presents like that, Sweet Pea.
Oh, totally.
That's a good idea. Well, first of all, I need to figure out how to do it for myself.
Yes.
I don't know if you're familiar with Ben, who was actually very recently on Garden as well. He's Worcester terrariums.
Because he said how his first one, it only lasted 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And obviously now he's just amazing at them.
Absolutely, yeah.
You've collaborated with him.
I have, yeah. I made a show garden with him at RHS Malvern last year.
Back in 2025. So tell us about that show garden.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was the first year that the RHS have done indoor show gardens, which felt like such a massive step forward because obviously, Sweet Pea, as you know, there's a whole generation of us that don't have access to gardens a lot of the time. And houseplants are becoming more and more of a thing that I think we need to champion. Mm-hmm. So the opportunity to be able to showcase that with such awesome people was great. I worked with Ben Worcester Terrariums and the team from Grow Tropicals, who's a really great UK plant shop, and we kind of designed it all together and came up with the concept that we called a reflection of nature. And so our show garden was kind of split down the middle with a window in it. So we had a living room on one side, which I designed and made, which was looking primarily at houseplants and how you would go about growing them in a home environment. So grow lights, terrariums, cabinets. Cool. Obviously, Ben very much did the water feature terrarium side of things. Yeah. And then through the window, mirrored on the other side, you could see the same plants, how they would grow in their natural habitat.
Oh, wow.
So we
what
kind of
a great idea.
It was brilliant. Awesome. It was so much fun. And it really allowed us to be super creative, but it also allowed people to come and hopefully appreciate a really cool thing to look at, but also go, okay, I love that plant there. How could I do that at home? And look at the other side and go, that's how I could do it.
Yeah. Fantastic. I'd love to have seen that.
I know. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So was that televised anywhere?
So I was actually, I've just been a series regular on Alan Titchmarsh's Gardening Club. Right. I've been their houseplant expert for the last year, and I did a segment for the show on our show garden. And aside from that, it was briefly featured on Garden as well, but we didn't get a specific feature. They looked at some of the other ones, but they didn't come and talk to us. We were scheduled to be talked to, but didn't get around to it on the day.
I think now actually that's ringing a bell on Garden as well. But the Alan Titchmarsh programme, that's Channel 4, is it?
ITV.
It's on ITV, so we could, if somebody wanted to see it, they could probably find it on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on
ITV
season
Player or something.
Yeah, season 2 of Alan Titchmarsh's Gardening Club.
So, any plans for any more show gardens?
It was a very big project. It was great fun. We won Best in Show. We won gold as well. So that was
brilliant.
It felt like such a great thing. But I think for this year, no plans. Lots of other potential things in the works for this
other
year.
projects going on.
Yes, absolutely. But I'd love to do it again. It was so much fun. And I think the great thing about the show gardens, both indoor and outdoor, is that anyone can apply. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to have any kind of qualification. All you need is a vision of what you want to do and what you want to create. And it's really amazing.
Okay, Claire, so for your dream garden, what will be the garden boundary if you want one at all?
So I was thinking about this, and I think in an ideal world, if I had an unlimited budget, I would love to create kind of like a little Kew Gardens leading on from my house.
Oh my gosh, cool.
Yeah, I would love to kind of make it this big, almost like sensory interactive kind of walk through that like connects to the house, but it just feels like you're walking into a little slice of jungle. I'd love to have bark kind of going up the walls and epiphytic plants growing in the way that they would naturally grow, and potentially a little water feature, which I will come on to in the other points, but things kind of growing in lots of different ways, and then making a really lovely cozy space in there with like a big beanbag or cozy chair or something for me. So I can just go and sit in the middle of it all and just appreciate it.
So it'd be a big glass house. Would you have different, would you have a sort of a cooler room to it, or would it just be one big room that was one temperature?
I think I'd probably primarily focus on tropicals that would grow in quite a similar environment.
Okay.
I think that would be my preference. I've got lots of succulents and kind of cacti and things that do well in a more kind of arid environment, but I guess then I could keep them in the rest of the house. This space specifically I would love to keep as a tropical space.
I really like that.
What size are we looking at? You said a small Kew Gardens, but if you could have any size.
I mean, it's tempting to go bigger and better. I mean, I'd want something that was maintainable, but also the amazing thing is when you create an enclosed space like that, the environment kind of starts working for itself. It's kind of like the Eden Project. I watched a fascinating piece on that a while ago, and they said that I think for the first 6 months they set it up, they ran humidifiers and misters every single day, and then they realized they just didn't need to do that anymore because the plants had got used to that and they were starting to do it for them.
They were creating their own rainforest, basically.
Yeah, it's a rainforest.
So I guess by going a little bit bigger, it would mean that perhaps it would start to look after itself. Well, so let's go bigger. Let's go bigger.
Okay. What would it be made out of? Would it be an iron structure, maybe wood, or something more modern?
I think I would probably like it to look as almost invisible as possible, so you didn't notice the structure that much. So I think something probably fairly minimal, maybe timber framed, lots of glass, and just like make the plants the central point, so you almost didn't notice that they were enclosed in anything at all.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. I really, really like that idea. And then you've got this kind of hallway almost that kind of takes you into it from the house.
Absolutely, yeah.
I really like
a few little winding paths and stuff.
Okay, this seems like a weird question, but it will work. Would you like a shed or a greenhouse?
So I have adapted that question into potentially cabinet growing.
Very nice.
Which I guess we could say cabinet / terrarium, more kind of enclosed within container growing. And I think I would do this because obviously I want to create a functional space. I think I would probably have the majority of everything kind of just growing wild and beautiful and looking lovely. And then if, for example, I had a plant that needed rehabbing in some way or pest treating or anything like that, I think I'd have a cabinet purely for rehabilitation, so I could keep everything sealed, contained, away from the rest of the collection so that nothing else was to spread, but also in an area that I could really closely monitor it.
Yeah, very nice. Lovely.
And then, probably an area or cabinet specifically for propagating and seed growing.
Of course.
And, all those lovely things.
So a propagation cabinet would come with grow lights, would it? And heat.
They're really easy to set up, to be honest. I like most of the cabinets that I get are just standard cabinets that you seal and stick some grow lights in, and it's easy to kind of convert.
Cool.
yeah, I was going to say, again, for your flat.
No, I'm honestly thinking about
my first cabinet I got for, I think, £15 on eBay. And I just sealed the whole thing and stuck some cheap Amazon grow lights in it, and it worked a treat.
I mean, there goes next week's shopping money.
Oh, well. When you say you're sealing it, how are you sealing a 15
It depends on the cabinet. If it's glass meeting glass, you can use like a stick-on shower seal, and that will create quite a nice seal.
Yes.
Which is so easy to do. If it's metal and glass, usually like running a bit of silicone or something down the side is a good way to do it. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, cool. Excuse my ignorance, but why does it need to be sealed?
It doesn't have to be sealed, but obviously one of the purposes of creating a cabinet is to create a contained environment that's got really lovely high humidity, particularly if you live in a home environment and you can't be running a humidifier all the time. So if you've got a house that's got kind of 30-40% humidity, and then you get a cabinet, obviously, if you just want it for light, absolutely fine. But if you also want to be able to create a controlled environment for humidity, sealing it just allows it to kind of become its own little microclimate.
Okay. I see. And contain that makes sense. And then how do you get the humidity in?
You can. Some people actually put humidifiers in there. I don't think that's necessary at all. In fact, I think a lot of the time, unless you've got fantastic airflow, it can lead to quite a lot of kind of moisture and mold build up. Again, I'll usually just put things in the cabinet that are in semi-hydroponics, some water propagations, and that's kind of it. Put a little bit of water on the floor here and there, and that will naturally just create nice humidity levels.
Right, and then is that assuming you've got underfloor heating to keep it a certain
Not at all. I've used this for years, and I've only in the last year have I ever been blessed with underfloor heating.
So you use a heat mat is what you'd use?
I actually haven't even used a heat mat in the past, to be honest. I find that, again, like unless you put it, I guess, right up against a very cold window, a lot of the time the heat will kind of be stored in a cabinet quite well.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Oh gosh, I'm getting so many ideas for you, Sweet Pea. This would be right up your street, wouldn't it?
Yeah. This apartment is going to be really small in the end. If we, it's
going to be a jungle, isn't it?
It's going to be so exciting, though.
It is, isn't it?
It is exciting, and also the garden centre has a whole area for indoor plants, terrariums, stumperies, all these kind of indoor things that you can create.
Amazing.
So I have a feeling I'm going to go to town a little bit.
You should. I mean, what you should absolutely do as well is you should say to the garden centre, "I'm a fan, and I'm just around the corner. If you've ever got cuttings that are going in the bin."
You need to, you need to get on first name basis.
Get
talking to this guy.
Yes,
I need to get talking to them.
That's a great idea, isn't it? Because I'm sure there's, what a brilliant idea. And also, I mean, what were student loans made for anyway? If they weren't for just spending at the local garden centre. So you go for it, Susie.
The best, definitely the most healthy use of your money when you're a student.
I think you're very right there, Claire.
I wish I'd spent my money on that when I was a student.
All my friends are off clubbing. I'll just be spending it on plants. That is how we're going to do this, people.
That's honestly, in my eyes, that's much cooler.
Yeah, I think so. Well, one thing I didn't ask back on the garden boundary was, what kind of flooring are you wanting in this Kew Gardens?
Good point.
So I think I would probably, as like an underlay, I would probably go with something super simple like vinyl. Is it vinyl? Lino.
Yes.
Something that is very easy to just practically wipe. And then I think what I'd probably do is use that as my base and kind of build up from there. I think I could create some kind of raised indoor beds that way, and I could kind of do potentially like start with a layer of sand and build it up similarly to how it would be in a plant's natural habitat with all the kind of different layers of substrate.
Right, okay. I see. So you wouldn't have the plants in pots; they would be in raised beds in your.
I mean, obviously there's pros and cons to both, because if you grow them in pots, then it's easier to deal with just the individual plant if something goes wrong without having to detangle about 20. But I do think it would be quite exciting to be able to grow actually from the ground where possible. A lot of the time as well, plants will spread very far out, so even if they don't have loads of room to go down, the ability to be able to actually spread outwards and put down roots that way can be totally fine. So yeah, I think that's what I would try. Maybe a mix, maybe a combination of both. But
a mix of both. Okie dokie. And one question actually I wanted to ask you, and I've just realised because I just tried to catch the fly right now, is since having houseplants, I've got all these little gnats around the place, and I have no idea how to get rid of them. Do you have any advice on that front?
I do. So fungus gnats are probably the most common problem with houseplants. They are just an absolute nightmare, and they create this vicious cycle. So their breeding cycle is usually about 7 days, but as soon as you start to see some of the adult flies, it means that they're already breeding.
Yes.
So with fungus gnats, you can use a few different things. I personally like to use something called nematodes, which I know you can use a lot outdoors as well, but the ones that I use for indoors are scarrid fly nematodes, which means they're perfectly safe if you've got pets or anything like that.
Oh, good.
And you essentially they're microscopic eelworms. Sounds gross, but you can't see them at all.
No, it doesn't sound gross. Sounds interesting.
Water them through the soil, and they'll just eat the larvae and kind of stop the fungus gnats in their tracks.
Okay, so they work successfully then?
Yeah, they work really, really well.
And where would you find those?
There's a great place called Ladybird Plant Care, and they do, to be honest, actually pretty much all the time in my collection nowadays, I use biological pest control, which is predatory mites, predatory insects. Again, it sounds weird and gross, but you never see them. You never see them. No. It just avoids spraying harsh pesticides and stuff in your house, which obviously I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So Ladybird Plant Care have all those?
Yeah, they've got, I use things to treat thrips, spider mites. I actually get it on subscription, so every single month I'll get a little delivery of all these little breeding colony bags, and I'll just put them in amongst my plants, and it works really well.
Oh, interesting. And they're easy to apply, are they?
Yeah, super easy. They come with little holes in the bag, so you can just hang them on your plants.
Oh, I see.
It just means that you're never having to deal with pests, essentially.
Just let nature do its thing. Oh, sweet pea, we'll have to get onto that for yours. Yeah. Because you do have a lot of those little fungus gnats.
I do. They're really annoying. And I tried diatomaceous earth.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's done anything.
That's really good for the adults, but it's not good for the larvae, because diatomaceous earth, usually you apply it when it's dry, and it essentially breaks down the exoskeleton of the creature. But as soon as it touches the moisture and the larvae in the soil, it won't affect them in the same way. So, and if you want a cheaper alternative as well, mosquito bits, which I believe are a bacteria. They come in they almost look like little pellets, and you put them in water and just let them sit for 24 hours and kind of brew them like a tea, and then water that into your plants. And again, they're not my personal preference, but I know lots of people use them as a cheaper option to nematodes.
What would be 5 ornamentals?
So I've already spoken about my love of alocasia.
Yes.
Oh, I think...
So is alocasia one of them?
So alocasia is the genus. I've got species within the genus that would be specifics for me. Although actually, let's if we go broader, I can give you genuses. Generi. I never know how to say that word.
Yeah. All the Latin names.
Alocasia as one.
Yes.
Definitely Anthurium. I think Anthurium has the most incredible variety within the species, within the genus.
Okay.
I've got some beautiful hybrids. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I just love diversity in different types of plants, and
and what does that one look like? Kind of, how would you describe it?
I mean, so the classic one that you probably think of when you hear Anthurium is in garden centres. You'll often see them with these kind of heart-shaped, either pink or red kind of shield leaves with a big thing sticking out of the middle. So that's what a lot of people typically think Anthuriums look like. But actually, that's tip of the iceberg. You can get these beautiful kind of dark velvety leafed ones with white veination, and I've got one in my collection that's actually probably almost me times half of me again. It's ginormous and puts up these big long kind of velvety strappy leaves. And
beautiful.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's the Anthurium palladiflorum, and it's one of my favourites.
I just looked that up. It's absolutely stunning. Does that hang? So you hang that up, or do you to allow
so
the
at
leaves
the
to fall
moment
down,
I've got it on one of the highest shelves in my plant room, and its leaves are actually now trailing along the floor, so I need to think about what I'm going to do next, because it's sizing up so much.
Isn't it that one that has kind of a long strap leaf?
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
And how like it grew to that in 1 year.
Yeah, that's it. I got it when it was about that big, and it sized up so quickly.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow. That is a very, very cool one.
So what will you do with that plant? Are you planning to then hang it, or where do you go? Move into a bigger house with a higher...
I mean, I think it needs to move positions. I think, like, I have been thinking about maybe bringing it through to my living room, but my planty space is kind of raised up. I've got little steps going up to that section of the house, which means that I've got about 3 steps worth more height in my living room. So that will buy me maybe 6 months of growing that plant in here.
Is that all?
It grows quickly, that one.
It does. Yeah, and I don't want to have to chop it, but at some point I might have to. I pollinate it quite frequently, so start little babies of it as well.
Yes,
very cool. What are some of your other ornamental picks?
I want to say Hoya. Again, such a beautiful variety of different types. I mean, if you're Googling things, type in the Hoya latifolia Sarawak and it will blow your mind. It produces leaves like that, and it's commonly known as the dinner plate Hoya.
Oh yes, that's beautiful.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Oh,
and the
gorgeous.
weight of them as well, they're so heavy.
Right.
But because they're semi-succulents, they can go ages without water. They're super low maintenance plants,
right? And a lot of these have
these as well.
Yes, so they seem to have a lot of these blooms, pink blooms.
Yeah, I mean, all different types of Hoya have different types of bloom. It's a lot of people grow them purely for the blooms. There's one called the Hoya caudata sumatra, and it's got really fuzzy blooms. It's they've got like hair coming off them. They look amazing.
Right.
Oh, very, very cool. And then 3 other ornamentals. You've got 3 more.
I would say philodendron. That's a great genus.
Yes,
philodendron.
I'm moving a little bit away from climbing plants / plants that require a lot of effort to keep on moss poles. I think purely just as life gets busy, I find that keeping moss poles hydrated every single day can be a lot of faff.
Right.
So I'm growing quite a few crawlers and plants that can be kind of trailing and look after themselves with a stake, as opposed to needing a high maintenance moss pole.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that means that philodendron aren't going to be part of your. Or do they need a moss pole?
I think they probably would. They like a moss pole, but I think again, if I'm going for a more kind of naturalistic setup, I could, and the humidity's high as well, I think I could probably train them to kind of grow across bark on the walls or other plants and stuff like that. So I think we can make it beautiful.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really nice. Love that choice. And the other ones?
What else would I go with? Aglaonema. Such an underrated genus, I think.
What is that?
Aglaonema. I'm Googling frantically on all of these.
Commonly known as Chinese evergreen.
Pretty.
Really gorgeous. But again, there are so many incredible species. One of my favourites is called the Aglaonema pictum tricolour.
I think I saw this one.
Oh, gorgeous. Oh, look at it. Doesn't look real, does it?
Velvety soft, and it's beautiful.
It looks like camo.
Yeah,
fashion camo.
Oh my god,
it does. It looks like it's just been painted, doesn't it? Yes. It doesn't quite look real.
Absolutely cool. Stunning. Yeah, how big does that get?
It's not the quickest plant to grow, but Aglaonema as a genus is one that personally, if ever people ask me what I'd recommend as a beginner plant, I always say that is the genus I'd go for, because it is so adaptable when it comes to different lighting requirements. It doesn't typically require any extra humidity or anything like that. It can dry out between waterings. Yeah, it's a great
like
one.
The one for me.
It's a really great one.
Gosh, I'm taking this list to the garden centre. I truly am, because I really want to.
I'll take it to the garden centre as well.
You're very knowledgeable on all the names. Do you have any formal education in horticulture?
No,
this
not
is
at
just
all.
everything you've picked up.
Yeah,
since...
I think like there's a lot that I don't know. I mean, I still forget my plant names from time to time and stuff, but I don't know. I just completely geek out and I enjoy learning about them, and I like knowing their names because it just makes me feel like I know them a bit better. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's very fun to learn the names. Well, what is your final ornamental, your last choice?
Oh, it's tough. Okay. I think if I had to be brutal, I'd probably say monstera. Again, I think it's a really versatile genus.
Yeah.
Have you got some kind of big one? I mean, I think I can see some of the really big ones in the background, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got a few. I've got a lot of different types of monstera actually, and some of them don't even look like what you would typically think monstera to look like. I've got one just on my right called a monstera siltepecana, which is a trailing plant, or typically grown as a trailing plant, and it's got little leaves that almost look like pothos, like the devil's ivy kind of plant. It almost looks a bit like that. But again, if you grow that plant on a moss pole and give it good light, it will size up and its leaves will split and it'll look amazing.
You call it a trailing plant, so if you were to have it somewhere high and let it hang down, would it like that, or is it wanting to climb up things?
I mean, it's a really versatile one. Mine's perfectly happy just kind of trailing down the shelves I've got it on. It will usually kind of grow towards the light. So if you put it on a high shelf and like maybe a window's there or something, it will kind of grow down and towards the light.
Because that was one of the things you did, was put curtain poles in, was it in front of the windows?
Yes.
Not for curtains, but for plants.
Yeah, just as little hanging space for plants. I still do that here.
Or shower poles, shower curtain poles.
Yeah, I think they're like really, I don't actually know what they were meant to be used for. I just got them from a local hardware shop, but they're just these long metal poles that I think, maybe they're used for shower curtains or something. But they take quite a lot of weight, and so I just hang all my hanging plants from them. It just optimizes the space a little bit more.
Oh, that's brilliant.
A great idea. Yeah, so hanging plants really appeal to me. We always try with ivies, and ivies, we have, again, varying degrees of success. I can kill them quite easily. We won't talk about the stick that's in Sweet Pea's pot up there.
Ivy's really hard to grow indoors, I think.
Thank you.
It is really hard to grow indoors. And it's so susceptible to spider mites as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, that's what it got. It had like this fuzzy stuff on it and all these kind of... Yeah, oh my gosh.
So it's not your fault.
It happens to me all the time as well. Really
we need nematodes. We learnt recently that they absorb fecal matter. So they absorb fecal matter and mould. And so they're very good for bathrooms, and they do it very, very quickly as well. Yeah. They can completely eradicate both from the air in your bathroom, so or anywhere, but if you have them in your bathroom, it's a great place to have them.
Oh, that's so cool.
Then what would be 5 edible plants?
Oh, okay. So the first one that popped into my head was the Coleus amboinicus, which is commonly known as the Cuban oregano or Mexican mint.
Oh, okay.
And I was sent a cutting of this by someone that I met in the plant community, and it started off as this teeny tiny little thing, and it has grown huge. It grows like a weed. Oh, wow. I keep it in the kitchen, and I'll just occasionally take little bits off it and cook with it, throw it into salads and stuff.
Lovely. So it's easy to grow inside.
Really easy to grow. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, again, it's almost kind of semi-succulent in texture.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's super easy to grow. I just keep it on the kitchen windowsill.
Is it a strong mint flavour? How does it compare to other mints?
It's weird. It's almost like a blend of lots of different things. Like if you rub the leaves and smell them, it's almost like oregano, basil, mint, like loads of things kind of mixed in. So it's got the most incredible flavour, and its leaves are kind of fuzzy as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really interesting one.
Do you have to cook it, or can you eat it raw?
You can eat it raw. Sometimes if I give it a prune, I'll just pop a leaf in.
Never love it.
Gorgeous. Well, I'm going to look that one up, because I do like to have kind of herbs around. Yeah. I had a basil plant, and that was nice in itself just to have. So very nice.
At one point we kind of said we'd love to, well, I mean, when we first moved in here, I really wanted to create kind of like an edible garden on the kitchen windowsill and have it purely full of edibles, and had like a bay tree growing at one point, which didn't do very well indoors actually. That one died.
Right.
But I had like a little mini satsuma tree and all these things.
Oh,
And
lovely.
I haven't. I should have done more to the indoor edible garden. I haven't. I've got ideas for it, but it's not something that I've put enough time into yet.
Where would that go? Is that for in the kitchen? Do you have space?
I'd love to have it on the kitchen windowsill. I mean, our kitchen doesn't get fantastic light. We're quite kind of sheltered by other houses, so it gets maybe half an hour of direct sun in the morning, and then the sun's over the other side of the house. So it would need to be something that could cope pretty well in kind of medium levels of light.
Okay.
So again, things like parsley, basil, stuff like that would probably do quite well there.
Well then, what are your other edible plants?
Oh, I think so. This is one that I don't know if I will ever be able to get to fruit in the UK, but there's a type of cactus. It's in the Opuntia family, I think, known as the prickly pear.
Oh yes.
And I've got a section of that has been almost dormant in my collection for ages. And actually, in the last couple of weeks, which is ironic because I have done no plant care in the last couple of weeks, I haven't been very well, it has suddenly started throwing out this incredible section of growth that looks like it might be leading to a flower.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's so exciting because prickly pear is delicious. I've
Really?
had it on holiday before and stuff. You can literally pick it off the cactus and...
Wait, where have you been having that on holiday?
Yes.
So when I went to Greece last year, and there was like a row of prickly pear cacti on the beach.
Oh, lovely,
It was amazing. And I kind of went down to the beach in the morning because I was like, oh, no one's looking. I'm just going to have one. And they were delicious. They were really, really nice.
So how do you eat it? You have to peel all the outside off?
Yeah, you kind of just peel off the outside. And it has got these pips in that are kind of like little stones, which... I think some people spit out. I didn't, and I'm still here.
You're still there.
Still alive. We're all good.
But it kind of tastes, I mean, it tastes like a pear, but it kind of has the texture of like a nectarine or a peach.
Oh, yummy.
That sounds really lovely.
Very interesting.
So are you going to try having a go on yours there?
I would love mine to fruit. I would love it to. I think it would need really high levels of light, so I probably need to put it right kind of under quite a bright grow light.
Yeah. Okay, of course.
But yeah, that's the hope. I'd hope that I could get it to fruit at some point.
Very
so
nice choice.
in your Kew Gardens Dream Garden, will you have grow lights in the space or just in the cabinets?
I think I probably would. Like, I don't think, if it was purely glass on top, I don't think I'd need a huge amount. But for certain types of plant, I mean, I don't know. I look at things like Kew and Wisley and stuff like that, and a lot of the time they don't use grow lights and their plants do amazingly well. So maybe I wouldn't need to. I've just never had quite that much light to play with.
Yeah.
I would really want to be able to bring out kind of the best potential in those plants.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't need it.
No. We'll assume you don't then, shall we? That you're in just the optimum light.
Exactly. And that these Kew Gardens are going to create that perfect humidity and dryness and everything for you. Very nice. What are 3 other edibles?
Ooh, you're testing me now. I don't actually grow that many edibles.
No.
But a side note to Hoyas that I spoke about earlier, the amazing flowers that I was talking about, they produce the most beautiful nectar. Hoyas in general are pet friendly, non-toxic, but the nectar is delicious. Honestly, you could like bottle it and drink it. It's so lovely.
Oh, right. How do you gather that nectar? Do you just suck on the
pretty
much?
Just pretty much just suck on the flower. I mean, that's what I do. But yeah, it's delicious. It's so nice. I have heard of people kind of gathering it and doing things with it, but I think I'm just very impatient. I've heard of people bottling it and kind of making syrups and stuff like that. But
so it produces a lot of nectar then from the flower.
It does. Sometimes you kind of see it dripping off the flowers.
Oh my gosh!
It's incredible.
That's fantastic.
And all the different blooms have different scents, and there's one called the Croniana that has a very kind of vanilla-y scent to it,
right?
Which is lovely.
That's very, very cool, because also, you know how earlier you said, oh, is that a poya?
Yes.
Poya are known for having these long tube flowers where you can quite literally pour out the nectar onto a spoon and drink it.
Yes, that's true.
Interesting.
So we have had that before as an edible plant.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
So the mishap of words is actually true.
It's all come good.
Very, very nice. And unfortunately, we're going to need 2 more edibles, even if you can't find them.
A fun one that like anyone can try at home is growing an avocado tree. And I did this so much over lockdown. I know it was kind of trending over lockdown.
I don't think we were aware of it trending, but Sweet Pea for Christmas, one of her stocking fillers was a little avocado dish.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a terracotta dish. Do you know this shop, Flying Tiger? It's on some high streets.
Oh, yeah, I think I do actually. Yeah, there's one.
I think it's a Copenhagen.
Yeah, it is.
From Copenhagen. And it was one of their clever little things that they had. And I bought it as a stocking filler for Sweet Pea. Terracotta dish, you put the stone in the middle and you put it on then a vase or a pot or whatever.
Yeah.
But we since found out that it's an award-winning dish.
It is actually award-winning.
Yeah. So we've done that because one of our listeners actually asked about it.
Yeah.
So could we send a link to it? But you can't get it online.
But, that's a shame.
Yeah, but you can get it in the high street if you go into the shop. Yeah. So how were you doing your avocados?
So, I mean, again, I got obsessed over lockdown and I tried quite a lot of different ways, but the quickest and easiest way that I found is if you get an avocado pit and you kind of peel the pit as much as you possibly can to get all the brown outer shell off.
Yeah.
And then if you just take a piece of damp kitchen roll and just lightly wrap the pit in that, and then either put it in a sealed sandwich bag or a Tupperware or something like that, and then whack it in the airing cupboard or just anywhere for a couple of weeks, and it will root so quickly. So
oh my gosh.
Okay.
Interesting.
You should do a little experiment, Sweet Pea, and do that method versus your Flying Tiger dish.
Yeah.
I need to get some avocados then.
Yes.
That's the first thing.
So how far did you get with growing your avocado trees?
I grew one that was about up to here on me at one point, which is still at my mum's.
Right.
That's amazing.
Again, I didn't get it to fruit. I never got that far, but again,
I hear it's really hard to get it to fruiting, certainly in this country, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it would be for me because I just love avocados. I can eat them daily. I could eat them just all day, every day, frankly.
They're delicious, aren't they?
I would love to live somewhere where you just would go into your garden and pluck avocados.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Can you imagine that?
It would be fantastic. That would be the dream. Put that in my Kew Gardens.
Yes, avocado mangrove.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, then your final edible for this section.
I was going to say another fun one that a lot of people don't know about is monstera. Monstera actually can produce an edible fruit.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, Monstera deliciosa, the Swiss cheese plant you were talking about earlier. It produces this crazy big thing, and I've only ever seen it in person a couple of times, but you have to really, really let it ripen. And then I've never tried it, but apparently it tastes kind of like a banana.
Right. So you said you've only seen it a couple of times. Is that on your plants?
No, I've never managed to get my own plants to do it. I have seen it at glass houses and stuff like that. Yeah. And when I was doing the RHS Malvern event last year, they got in some epic plants for the show. And I was taking one of them out of the packaging and just came across this massive fruit. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's crazy.
Oh, amazing. So how big's the fruit?
It was about that big.
So what are you talking about?
We're talking about
a meter?
50, no, that's not a meter. That's like 50 centimeters.
Yeah, I would say about 50 centimeters. Sorry, forget you can't.
Yeah,
not everyone can see me.
So about 50 centimeters. Wow.
Yes, I would say so. But I mean, I guess.
Did you eat it?
Did you?
No, it wasn't quite ripe. It wasn't quite ripe, but they can, I think, take ages to ripen, like up to a year, I think. So,
right.
Okay.
That is a rare fruit. That's like something for royalty or something like
yes,
that.
Exactly. Got a great choice for an edible for your Kew Gardens garden.
Yeah, absolutely. Really like no, I'd be fascinated to try it at some point.
Then, what would be your one statement tree?
So, I've already spoken about the anthurium that I love, the pallidiflorum with the long strappy leaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that would be, but because I've spoken about that one, I'm going to give you a bonus one.
Fab.
I think probably I've got some euphorbias that I would consider like statement trees. They look like cacti. They look like big kind of
the one with the kind of, it almost looks like a candelabra.
Right. I'm aware not everyone will be able to see this. But if I turn in the corner just there.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Oh wow.
They're ginormous.
That's a euphorbia, is it?
Yeah, they're both euphorbia. And yeah, I got them when they were really quite small, and because they're succulents and they're not cacti, they actually grow really quite fast. So they do become kind of tree-like very, very quickly. And the fascinating thing with them as well, and again, you can see it if you go to glass houses, but the bottom of the plant, because obviously they look so fragile and then they get so big and beefy on top. The bottom of the plant starts forming this thing called corking, which is essentially like a trunk. It just reinforces itself at the bottom to create a really woody structure to hold up the rest of the plant.
So it's technically a tree.
So eventually it will end up looking like a tree. Yeah.
Oh, that's very, very cool.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's starting to happen with mine, and it's amazing.
Gosh, how exciting.
Yeah,
and how long have you had that for?
Yeah.
I think, so both of them are within the last 6 years, I think. I got one around about the point of lockdown, maybe just before, but it was around that time because I remember where I was living. And then the other one I got 2020/2021. So yeah, they've got that big in a very short space of time in the grand scheme of things. There, I mean, both of them are much taller than me.
Amazing.
I mean, they look huge. That's
incredible. They're beautiful plants, and they are so easy because I do nothing to them.
Oh, good. Would you like a pond or a pool, and what plant would you have in that area?
So I would like a pond, but I would like it to be kind of a water feature pond.
Yeah.
So I would love to have maybe kind of like a multi-leveled little fountain coming down to this beautiful kind of pondy area at the bottom.
Oh my gosh, brilliant.
Which again, great for humidity in a glass house. It would also mean that you wouldn't need to run humidifiers as much.
Yes.
Gosh, it's sounding so tropically. Can you imagine the sound of that? And
the sound as well. Oh yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
And would it be in the ground or a raised?
I would say maybe starting at the top and maybe having it kind of trickle down over some rocks to the bottom level.
Oh my gosh,
and the bottom level, is that going to be raised, or would you have that in the ground?
I would say maybe kind of I'd install it almost like a little, like a pond inlay type thing.
Yeah.
And then it could kind of cycle round.
Have you seen something like that before?
Well, we actually did something very similar in our show garden that we made.
Right.
And it worked beautifully. It worked so well, and they kind of put lots of misty stuff going all around it and stuff. So you just caught glimpses of the water, and it was so lovely.
That's cool.
And
when you say misty stuff, do you mean as in sort of dry ice?
So I was going to say for effect it was dry ice, but obviously if it hadn't been a big open warehouse in natural habitats, it would have just been kind of natural humidity moving through the space.
Wow, I can't wait to re-watch the viewing of that garden that you did for Northern. That sounds incredible.
It was a lot of fun.
I really, really love that. Will you have fish?
Ooh.
Good question, Sweet Pea.
So,
Or ducks.
That would be great. I mean, honestly,
tropical ducks.
This is going to just turn into like Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I'm already feeling like you need to have some beautiful tropical birds in there.
Yes, I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of creating a big vivarium space has always really appealed to me.
Can you imagine that?
Lovely lizards and geckos.
Yes.
Stunning.
Oh, that would be incredible, wouldn't it?
It would be lovely.
Space like that.
It would be so lovely. Why not? I'd have some fish in there. Why not?
Some fish.
Maybe some fish. Okay. And then what plant are you wanting for kind of either next to it or in it? So
I think probably around the outside I would use again lots of different beautiful varieties of alocasia, because it is a plant that naturally grows quite close to the water's edge. It really appreciates the humidity, and I think it could frame that area quite nicely.
Any specific types that kind of that you really, really like? This
actually is one that I struggle with as a pot plant, but I think would do much better if it was allowed to just kind of cruel on its own because it puts out so many little corms, like little bulbs. But I would probably use something like the Alocasia Green Shield. It's got beautiful, beautiful leaves. And as I say, it is a prolific propagator.
Wow.
So I think if you were to just plant a few of them, it would probably double itself very quickly.
I remember you showing this on like a rare plants that are kind of easy-ish to look after or something like that. And there was another plant actually that I really, really liked, which was the Maranta Lemon Lime.
Oh, that's a gorgeous one. Again, that would be amazing. Perfect by the water's edge.
I mean, that was just a stunning, stunning plant. I love that.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you saying we're getting you a water feature for your apartment now as well, Sweet Pea?
Okay, I think that might be a little bit too much.
Well, I was going to say, those shelves behind you don't need shelves, just get a water feature.
You need a fountain, oh my gosh. Well, final question for your dream garden is, what would be your favourite seating area to chillax on, a drink to have, and a plant to have by your side?
Oh, so I think I kind of answered the seating thing earlier, but I think being able to just have, like, you know, those big like dome chairs that you see that have just like a cushion that you can kind of sink into the middle in. I think a big cozy chair like that with some nice cushions and
those egg chairs.
Yeah.
Like a hanging one.
Not the hanging ones. They've got ones that they usually see them in like wicker, and they have like big pillows in the middle that you can kind of just float back into.
Oh, lovely.
I think I'd have something like that.
I like that.
It just kind of embraces you, doesn't it?
Yeah, hugs you. And then what drink and plant?
Right now, I'd probably go with the peppermint tea, which I know is a bit rogue, but I'm enjoying my peppermint tea at the moment.
I like
you know
peppermint
what?
tea.
Another good tea that I've recently discovered. You can get biscuit tea, and I have just come across that. I know it sounds horrible. I made my mum drink a cup, and she thought it was going to be disgusting, and now she's obsessed.
Oh right!
It's basically just Yorkshire tea, just standard tea, but it's not sweet at all, but it smells like a Biscoff biscuit.
Oh my god!
And it just feels like you're dipping a biscuit in tea.
Oh my god!
Which I know sounds totally weird, but honestly, try it. It's really quite
we'll
nice.
have to check that out.
I am going to find that in my supermarket.
Yes, you will.
Biscuit tea. I
That's
will
right up your street.
Track it down.
It's really good. It's so comforting.
Brilliant! I love that. Very nice. And then what plant?
The plant that I would have with me is a little one, and it's probably the plant in my collection right now that looks the least interesting but is the most exciting to me. And it's called the Welwitschia mirabilis, and it's commonly known as the living fossil plant. And in its natural habitat, it looks horrible. I first saw it.
Decaying mess.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like, it's got these two massive weird leaves that kind of just spread and rot and look weird. And it can live for thousands of years. And I think that's why typically when you see it in its natural habitat, it does look a bit decrepit.
Yes.
But I looked it up at one point and I saw it being grown as a pot plant, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's amazing. It's got these kind of curly leaves that kind of tumble out of the pot. And the most interesting thing about it is that, like, obviously it can live for thousands of years if it's grown in the right habitat, but it will only ever grow those two leaves. It will never grow more. So yeah, if it loses one of those leaves, then it will never grow back. So
it's amazing and sad.
Yeah.
And sad as well.
But it's such a precious plant. I managed to get some seeds a while ago, and
where did you get those from?
There's a great place called I think it's called like Rare Cactus Plants, Rare Cactus Seeds, Rare Cactus Plants, one of the two. And they have a myriad of things on there. But often if you're looking for something really unusual, they're a great place to look. And I've found some amazing things on there over the years.
Oh, I mean, that's fantastic.
We had Martin from the Big Cactus Rescue.
Oh, yeah.
We've crossed paths with him. We had him on for a chit-chat. He was about our second or third chit-chat, I think. Very, very early days. And he chose a Welwitschia as well for one of his plants. Yeah.
Interesting.
Fascinating plant.
Yeah. It takes such a long time to kind of get going, and I think there's a reason you don't see it about very much.
Yeah.
But it's one that just feels it feels like there's such a buzz around kind of like rare plants in the houseplant community, and what is actually rare and what is deemed rare just because you can get it in this country and not that country, and actually what does rare even mean, and all that sort of stuff. And for me, the Welwitschia mirabilis, it's one that, I mean, it's not, I got my seeds fairly cheaply. I didn't pay a lot of money for them, but it feels like one of the most precious plants in my collection because I'm just so excited about it, and I know that not many other people are growing it.
Yeah. So how big is yours now?
Oh, it's tiny. It's from leaf to leaf, it's probably about that big.
So what are we saying, about 20 centimeters?
Oh, if that. Oh,
maybe
yes, sorry,
10.
I forget. Can't see me. Yes, if that. But I'd say probably actually closer to 10 centimeters from leaf to leaf. I'm currently just growing it in an old olive jar because it's got this huge long tap root that needs a lot of depth. And I actually got 5 seeds when I first got this plant, and this is the only one that's made it this far.
Oh my gosh.
But I know.
It's a very special plant then.
Yes.
How easy is it to grow? Well, I guess
so far it's been absolutely fine. It's just the initial germination process. It is so susceptible to fungal issues. I got a couple to sprout, and this is the only one. I've had this one growing for over a year now, so I hope it's fairly stable. But
great choice.
That is really, really brilliant. I'm going to read back to you your dream garden just in case I've missed anything or you want to change anything. So for garden boundary, we're going with a little Kew garden, although we did think maybe kind of biggish because we want that rainforest effect. Just Kew gardens in itself, with a kind of nice alleyway kind of going from the house to this beautiful kind of botanical Kew garden with bark up the walls, then a water feature that we'll talk about later, epiphytic plants, lots of comfy chairs and bean bags. And then you wanted it to be as much glass as possible with a thin frame. So it's all about the plants. And then we were going with possibly a lino floor with then some raised beds and some pots kind of mixed between the two. Then your shed or greenhouse, we were going to go with cabinets and terrariums for growing, propagating, also kind of rehabilitation areas for seedlings, etc. Then your 5 ornamentals, we had Alocasia, Anthurium pallidiflorum. We had Hoyas, like the Diddorplate one, Philodendron, Aglaonema, Picton tricolour, Monstera, like the Siltepecana. Then your 5 edibles were Mexican mint / Cuban oregano, prickly pear, Hoya flowers, avocado trees, and the Swiss cheese Monstera. Then your 1 tree was the beautiful Euphorbia. Then you wanted for your water feature a kind of multi-leveled fountain with a kind of pond in it, trickling over rocks, maybe some fish in there. Around the outside there was going to be lots of alocasia, like green shield, for example. And then we did talk about the Maranta lemon lime as well. Then your seating area was one of those really nice wicker egg chairs that just kind of hug you with huge comfy cushions, peppermint tea or biscuit tea, and you wanted a living fossil plant, a Welwitschia mirabilis, next to you.
Nice. That sounds pretty perfect.
I mean, that sounds really epic, and I've learned so much.
I've learned so much. I don't think I've Googled so much in one episode of this.
Yeah, a lot of Googling.
Huge amount of Googling and lots of tips to take away with us. Well, thank you so much, Claire. We wish you all the best with all your projects this year for 2026.
Oh, you too. And thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's been a Good Ol Chit-Chat with Claire.